Well, there's breaking news coming in at this hour. Important to understand that we're getting information that the United States has striked ISIS in Syria. Important information we're getting at this hour is the US seems to have launched Operation Hawkeye. Remember that the US Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, has confirmed the strike, saying that the strike is a response to the December 13th attack and that the attack is not an act of war but of vengeance. Important information we're tracking at this hour, as the US President Donald Trump has also commented on the strike, saying that striking was in fact strongly against the ISIS in Syria. The US President has further gone on to say that if the US is attacked, then the United States will hit back harder. Remember that the Secretary of War of the United States has also tweeted on this. This is a tweet coming in from Pete Hegseth, where he said that the US forces commenced the Operation Hawkeye strike in Syria to eliminate ISIS fighters. Well, on this, we have my colleague Aditya joining us on the broadcast. Aditya, walk us through the details. What exactly do we know so far?
Well, yes, a major strike has been commencing over the last few hours by the United States against Syria. In fact, this entire operation has been named Operation Hawkeye. We got the initial details from the U.S. Central Command, and then the U.S. President Donald Trump and, of course, the Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, himself confirming the details. The Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, in fact, saying that earlier today, the U.S. forces commenced Operation Hawkeye strike in Syria to eliminate ISIS fighters, infrastructure and weapon sites in direct response to the attack on the U.S. forces that occurred on December 13th in Palmyra in Syria. This is not the beginning of the war, it is a declaration of vengeance. The United States of America under President Trump's leadership will never hesitate and never relent to defend our people. So clearly at this particular time, the statement from the U.S. Central Command and the Secretary of War clearly indicates that the attack that had happened on the 13th of December, this is the revenge for that. And of course, there are videos and photos that will be trickling in over the next few minutes and hours. But a very strong message coming in from the US President as well, saying that the government of Syria, led by a man who is working very hard to bring greatness back to Syria and is fully in support. All terrorists who are evil enough to attack Americans are hereby warned, you will be hit harder than you have ever been hit before if you in any way attack or threaten the United States of America. So Trump building on the messaging on US being tough towards terror elements or elements who do not agree with the US and continue to attack and provoke. So at this particular time, clearly a strong response coming in from the US against the ISIS with a major strike, Operation Hawkeye, against the ISIS fighters, ISIS terrorists, their infrastructure, their weapon sites in this entire area.